Welcome back. Let's take a look at a special type of task in the timeline called a work call. Work calls exist for those times when you're booking large numbers of people and you need to track extra details about each person you're lining up, like their specific role or whether or not they're confirmed. A work call is very similar to a regular task. The major difference being that instead of simply listing team members with a task, like we do here with the rehearsal, a work call creates individual booking slots for each person. When you create bookings, you can either pre-fill them with people or create empty slots to fill in later. Some examples of scenarios where work calls may be useful would be things like load-ins, load-outs, costume fittings, volunteer schedules, etc. Let's take a look at how this works. Say we're creating a load-in for Lion Queen, which will require 1 crew chief and 2 stagehands. Our crew chief works with us full time, but our stagehands are overhire, so we don't know who they are yet. To create a work call, click on your green New Task button and select Work Call. Then enter the name load-in and add a date, time, and location. When you click Add, you can see it over on the left with a new icon indicating that it's a work call. Now let's add booking slots in the load-in work call. Back over on the right, change the task type to booking. Notice at the top we indicate which work call these new bookings will be part of. In this case, the load-in that we just created. Down below, you can add a role, crew chief, and the name of the person who will be the crew chief. When you click Add, you can see over on the left a booking slot has been created in the load-in work call with that person. Now let's add 2 empty stagehand slots. First, click on Multiple Slot, change the role to stagehand, and type the number 2 into the field that says Number of Slots. Hit Add, and voila! You can see on the left 2 empty slots have been created. Now let's pop in some names of stagehands that we initially want to reach out to. Click on a booking, click Edit, and pop in that person, and then click Save. Let's do it again for the other booking as well. So one of the great things about bookings is that Propared will automatically check for conflicts across other projects. If there's an overlap, you'll see this red icon appear, and you can look at the detail sidebar to see where the conflict is. Okay, so we've got our preferred people all set up. Now let's find out if they're available. We can select all of our electrician bookings and click this email button over here on the right-hand side. When you click Send, you'll send a booking request email out to each selected person listed, and it'll include the details of the call, asking them to reply to you via email if they're available. Keep in mind that you must have email addresses associated with each contact that you want to reach out to. So also notice that when you hit Send, the status of each booking changes to tentative, indicating that you're waiting to hear back. Once you do, you can update their status to confirmed, or if they're not available, pop someone else into the slot and resend. Another way to quickly create work calls and bookings is to convert an existing task into a work call. Here's a task that we previously created with some team members listed. Just click this button over here and a work call will be created and each person listed in their own booking slot. Once converted, you can delete the original task. Work calls and bookings appear in all filter schedules and calendars, just like other task types. Let's head over to the filter screen and take a look at the Lion Queen full schedule to see what that looks like. If you don't want bookings to appear in a particular schedule, you can filter them out by editing the filter and deselecting the bookings task type here in the filter settings. One other great use for bookings is creating pre-filled timesheets for on-site use. To do this, create a new filter and only select bookings. Once created, you can export the filter to a CSV file by clicking on this button over here. From there, you can update the planned times with actual ones, add columns, pay rates, etc., and then pass it on to the next part of your payroll workflow. Work calls can be very useful in the right circumstances, but you don't have to use them. I'd suggest using them for times when you need the ability to track those extra details about each person on a call. If your whole staff works for you full-time or on a semi-permanent basis, it may actually be easier to just create a regular task and list the team members like we did back in the timeline video.